Chosen ones, you may have wondered why the path you walk often feels so lonely. Why is it that your journey seems to lead you away from the noise, the distractions, and even the people you once held dear? It is not by coincidence, but rather a divine calling. Solitude is not a punishment. It is a powerful gift, a place where transformation begins, where true growth takes root. In the stillness, you are offered the chance to hear what cannot be heard in the midst of chaos. The world around you is loud, always demanding attention, pulling you away from your center. But in solitude, you return to yourself, to your essence, to the purest form of your being. It is in this quiet space that the voice of the divine speaks clearly. Away from the distractions, the whispers of truth become louder, and your spirit begins to align with its true purpose. Consider this. When you strip away the external, the false layers of your life, what remains? What do you see when you look within? Solitude offers the mirror that reflects your soul's true desires, the hidden wounds that need healing, and the greatness you are meant to embrace. It is a space of preparation, a sacred ground where you are refined. The world may tell you that being alone is a weakness, something to be avoided. Yet, history shows us that those who walked the path of solitude, whether prophets, saints, or even Yeshua himself, found their greatest strength in the quiet. For Yeshua often withdrew to desolate places to pray, to reconnect with the Father, and to gain the clarity needed for his mission. You too are called to withdraw, not to escape, but to fortify your spirit. As you step deeper into your journey of solitude, know that this is where your transformation begins. The road ahead will challenge you, but it will also reveal your true power. It's in this quiet where you are prepared for what is to come. The path of isolation is often misunderstood, feared even. But what if the very thing you resist, being alone, is the key to unlocking the deepest parts of yourself? What if this solitude is not a curse, but a gift, an invitation from the divine to step into a space where distractions fall away and your true purpose is revealed? In a world filled with constant noise, endless notifications, and the pull of other people's expectations, isolation offers a rare opportunity. It is a chance to detach from the outside and reconnect with the inside. When you are alone, the voices of the world grow quiet, and the voice of your spirit becomes clear. You begin to see the beauty in stillness, the wisdom in quiet reflection. It is in this space that the noise of life fades and the truth of your being rises. Isolation forces you to face yourself. Without the buffer of relationships, responsibilities, or routines, you are left with only you. And while this may seem daunting at first, it is in this space that the most profound growth occurs. When you sit in silence, you begin to hear the whisper of your soul, the dreams you've neglected, the wounds you've buried, the desires you've suppressed. Isolation reveals the truth you've been too busy to see. It is said that Yeshua often withdrew to lonely places, seeking the solitude necessary to commune with the divine. In these moments of isolation, he was renewed, strengthened, and given clarity. You too are being called to embrace this gift. It is not a place of weakness, but of renewal. But what does it mean to truly embrace isolation? It means to stop fearing it, to stop filling the silence with distractions. It means to welcome the discomfort, knowing that on the other side of that discomfort lies transformation. You are not meant to be constantly surrounded by others. There are seasons in life where you must walk alone, not because you are unloved, but because you are being prepared for something greater. As you step into this season of solitude, remember that this is not the end, but the beginning. The isolation you experience now is setting the stage for the next chapter of your life, one filled with purpose and power. But for now, sit in the quiet, listen to the voice within, and know that this solitude is a gift. Solitude holds an incredible power that goes far beyond the surface. It reaches into the spiritual, tapping into depths that are often overlooked or avoided in the rush of everyday life. When you are alone, you are stripped of the facades, the expectations, and the identities that the world has placed upon you. What remains is your purest self, a soul that longs to connect with the divine, to understand its purpose, and to find peace in the stillness. It is in these quiet moments that the spiritual work begins. The noise of the world can drown out the whispers of your spirit, but in solitude, you begin to hear them clearly. Every spiritual tradition speaks to the importance of quiet reflection, of stepping away from the crowd to engage with the inner world. Yeshua himself retreated to the wilderness, away from the noise of his mission, to engage with the Father and to renew his strength. This practice is not just for saints and sages, it is for you, chosen one. Solitude is a spiritual practice, a discipline that deepens your connection to both yourself and the divine. When you allow yourself to be alone, you create space for healing, for revelation, and for growth. The distractions of life may keep you from seeing the truth, but in solitude, that truth becomes undeniable. Your spirit is laid bare, and with it comes the opportunity for profound transformation. To be alone is to journey into the wilderness of your own soul, and while that wilderness may seem daunting, it is also rich with beauty, mystery, and revelation. The wilderness is where the divine often reveals itself. Just as Moses encountered the burning bush in isolation, and Yeshua faced temptation and found victory in the desert. Your own wilderness, your own moments of solitude, hold similar potential for spiritual breakthroughs. But solitude also requires patience. It is not an overnight process, but a slow unfolding. As you spend time alone, resist the urge to rush or to distract yourself from the discomfort. Lean into it. Let the silence do its work. Let the stillness reveal what is hidden. For it is in these moments that the greatest spiritual depth is found. This journey of solitude is not about being alone forever. It is about being alone for a time, long enough to discover who you are and what you are here to do. When you emerge from this season, you will do so with greater clarity, purpose, and strength. But for now, trust the process. Embrace the spiritual depth that only solitude can bring. Clarity is one of the greatest gifts solitude offers. When you are surrounded by noise, whether it's from people, media, or your own thoughts, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. The constant stream of external input clouds your vision and drowns out the still, small voice within. But in solitude, the fog lifts, and you begin to see with new eyes. The world is full of distractions pulling you in every direction. It tells you what to think, how to feel, and who you should be. But in solitude, all of that falls away. You are left with only yourself and the truth that has been hidden beneath the surface. This is where clarity begins to emerge. When Yeshua withdrew to quiet places to pray, it was not merely to escape the crowds, but to gain the clarity needed for his mission. In the silence, he could hear the voice of the Father clearly. In solitude, he found the strength and direction to continue on his path. You too are being called to seek this clarity in your own life. But clarity doesn't come instantly. It unfolds slowly, like the rising of the sun. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening. You may sit in solitude and wonder why the answers aren't coming. But with time, the clouds begin to part, and the light starts to shine through. You see things you hadn't noticed before. Truths about yourself, your purpose, and your relationships. The distractions of the world no longer have the same power over you. In solitude, you are able to strip away the layers of confusion and see the heart of the matter. Clarity is not just about knowing what to do next. It's about understanding who you are and what you stand for. It's about recognizing the patterns that have been holding you back and the possibilities that lie ahead. In solitude, you have the space to reflect deeply, to ask the hard questions, and to wait for the answers to come. As you continue on this journey, allow yourself to sit with the unknown. Trust that clarity will come, even if it takes time. This process cannot be rushed. It is in the waiting that the answers are revealed, and when they do, you will be ready to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and direction. For now, embrace the quiet. Let go of the need for immediate answers. Trust that in this space, you are gaining the clarity you need for the road ahead. Distractions are everywhere. The modern world is designed to keep you busy, occupied, and constantly connected to something outside of yourself. But these distractions often pull you away from your true purpose. They keep you from hearing the quiet voice within, the one that knows your deepest desires, your highest potential, and your divine calling. When you step into solitude, you are choosing to break free from these distractions. You are choosing to silence the noise that has been vying for your attention, clouding your thoughts and cluttering your spirit. Solitude creates the space for clarity, for focus, and for a renewed sense of purpose. It is in this stillness that you can begin to hear the truth once again. But breaking free from distractions is not easy. The world has conditioned you to stay connected, to always be doing something, to always be moving. The pull of notifications, of to-do lists, of endless responsibilities is strong. But what if the most important thing you could do is nothing? What if the greatest breakthrough in your life comes not from striving, but from stopping? Yeshua understood this. Even in the midst of his ministry, when the crowds pressed in, when the demands on his time and attention were overwhelming, he withdrew to quiet places. He knew that his power, his strength, and his clarity came not from the noise but from the silence. In these moments of solitude, he was able to reconnect with the Father, to hear the divine whispers that guided his path. You too are being called to break free from the distractions that have been keeping you from your true self. It may feel uncomfortable at first. The silence may seem too quiet. The stillness may feel unfamiliar. But it is in this space that the real work begins. It is here that you can finally hear what your soul has been trying to tell you all along. As you step into this season of solitude, resist the urge to fill the silence with distractions. Don't reach for your phone. Don't busy yourself with tasks. Allow the discomfort of stillness to wash over you. Let it do its work. For it is in this space of quiet that the deepest truths are revealed. You are not meant to live a distracted life. You are meant to live a focused, purposeful, and powerful life. But that clarity can only come when you choose to step away from the noise and into the silence. In the world's constant noise, your inner voice can become faint, almost inaudible. It's easy to lose touch with your intuition, the guiding compass that knows your deepest truths and desires. But in solitude, when the distractions fall away, your inner voice begins to speak again, clearly, confidently, and with purpose. This voice is not just the echo of your thoughts. It is the divine whisper within you, guiding you toward your highest potential. In the quiet of solitude, you strengthen this voice, learning to trust it more than the external opinions, pressures, or expectations that have long shaped your life. Yeshua often retreated into the wilderness, away from the crowd, to align his inner voice with the Father's will. In these moments of solitude, he gained the strength and clarity needed for his mission. He didn't look to the world for validation. He trusted the divine voice within. You are called to do the same. Strengthening your inner voice is not about shutting out the world forever. It's about learning to differentiate between the external noise and the internal truth. The more time you spend in solitude, the more attuned you become to this voice. You begin to recognize its tone, its rhythm, and its truth. It becomes your compass, guiding you through life's challenges, opportunities, and decisions. But strengthening this voice requires intentional practice. Solitude is not just about being physically alone. It's about creating a sacred space within yourself where your inner voice can be heard. It's about turning down the volume on the external world and turning up the volume on your inner wisdom. This process takes time, but with each moment spent in solitude, you begin to trust yourself more. You begin to see that the answers you seek are not outside of you, but within. Your inner voice holds the key to your purpose, your path, and your power, but it can only be strengthened when you choose to spend time in quiet reflection, away from the noise of the world. As you move forward on this journey, remember that your inner voice is always with you. It's not something you need to find, it's something you need to nurture. In the silence, it grows stronger. In solitude, it becomes your greatest ally. Allow the quiet to strengthen your inner voice, and trust that this voice will guide you toward the life you are meant to live. Silence is more than the absence of sound. It is a doorway to profound wisdom. When the noise of the world fades away, the mind quiets, and the heart opens to truths that were previously hidden. In silence, you unlock the depths of your soul, discovering insights and revelations that have long been buried under layers of distractions, fears, and external influences. As you journey into solitude, The silence becomes your teacher. It holds the wisdom that cannot be accessed through words or actions, but only through stillness. This is where you begin to understand the mysteries of life and your place within it. The noise of the world can deceive, but silence tells the truth. Yeshua knew the power of silence. In moments of stillness, he connected deeply with the Father, receiving divine guidance and wisdom that directed his steps. He didn't rush through his moments of solitude, nor did he fill them with unnecessary words. Instead, he embraced the silence, knowing that it was in these quiet spaces that the greatest revelations came. You are being called to do the same. In the silence of solitude, you are given the opportunity to unlock the hidden wisdom that has been waiting for you. This wisdom is not something that comes from outside of you. It is already within. But it can only be accessed when you create space for it to emerge. Silence is a key, and solitude is the door it unlocks. When you sit in stillness, you begin to see with new eyes. You gain insights into your life, your purpose, and your future that were previously hidden. The silence allows you to process the lessons you've learned, the experiences you've had, and the direction you are meant to go. But unlocking this wisdom requires patience. The world may urge you to seek quick answers, but the silence asks you to wait, to trust, and to listen deeply. It is in this waiting that the most profound truths are revealed. So, as you continue on your journey of solitude, embrace the silence. Let it unlock the wisdom that has been waiting within you all along. Trust that in these quiet moments, you are gaining the insights and understanding you need for the road ahead. Confidence is often associated with external validation, how others perceive you, how well you perform in the eyes of the world. But true confidence is something much deeper. It is not built upon the shifting sands of external opinions. Rather, it is rooted in a quiet, unshakable sense of self that can only be cultivated in solitude. When you step away from the crowd, from the voices that tell you who you are supposed to be, you are given the opportunity to rediscover who you truly are. Solitude provides the space to strip away the layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity that have been imposed on you by the world. It allows you to rebuild your confidence on a solid foundation, one that is not dependent on external approval. In the quiet of solitude, you come face to face with yourself. There are no distractions, no comparisons, no one to impress. It is just you and your inner truth. And while this can be intimidating at first, it is also liberating. In this space, you can begin to see yourself clearly, without the distortions of other people's expectations. You begin to recognize your strengths, your potential, and your worth. Yeshua didn't seek his confidence from the crowd. In fact, he often withdrew from the masses, choosing instead to find strength in his relationship with the Father. His confidence was rooted in his identity as the Son of God, not in the opinions of others. You are called to do the same. Your confidence comes from knowing who you are in the eyes of the divine, not from how the world sees you. Rebuilding confidence in solitude takes time. It requires you to let go of the need for external validation and to trust that you are enough just as you are. The more time you spend alone, the more you will come to trust yourself and your own instincts. You will no longer feel the need to seek approval from others because you will know, deep within, that you are walking your own path with purpose and power. As you continue on this journey, allow solitude to be the space where your confidence is rebuilt. Trust that the quiet moments are where you will find your greatest strength. And remember, true confidence is not loud or boastful. It is steady, unshakable, and deeply rooted in the knowledge of who you are. In the silence of solitude, your purpose begins to take shape. So often, the world tries to define what success and fulfillment should look like for you, creating a narrative that is often at odds with your soul's true desires. But when you take the time to be alone, away from the external voices that try to dictate your life, you open yourself to a deeper, more authentic sense of purpose, one that comes from within. The quiet path is not a path of inaction. On the contrary, it is a path of deep reflection, where each step forward is taken with intentionality and clarity. In the silence, you are able to hear the quiet whispers of your soul that tell you what you were truly created to do. It is not always the loud, bold moves that define your purpose, but the quiet, steady choices you make when no one else is watching. Yeshua walked his path with such purpose, often retreating to places of solitude to reflect and connect with the Father. In these moments, he received the guidance and strength needed for his mission. You too are invited to walk this quiet path, trusting that your purpose will unfold as you stay connected to your inner truth and the divine guidance that flows through you. As you spend more time alone, you will notice that your desires and priorities begin to shift. What once seemed important may no longer hold the same weight. You may find that the things the world values, status, recognition, wealth, pale in comparison to the deeper calling that is emerging within you. This is the power of solitude. It strips away the superficial and reveals the profound. But walking the quiet path requires patience and trust. Purpose is not something that is discovered overnight. It is something that unfolds over time, often in ways that you cannot predict or control. The more you embrace solitude, the more you will come to trust that your purpose is already within you, waiting to be uncovered. As you continue on this journey, remember that the quiet path is not about rushing to find answers, but about allowing the answers to come to you in their own time. Trust the process, trust the silence, and trust that your purpose will reveal itself when the time is right. The experience of being alone can often be mistaken for loneliness, but the two are vastly different. Loneliness is a sense of lack, of feeling disconnected from others, while solitude is a place of fullness, of reconnecting with yourself and the divine. When you embrace solitude, you are not truly alone. You are walking in communion with your inner self, with the spirit that resides within, and with the divine presence that guides you. In this sacred space of solitude, a spiritual rebirth takes place. It is a process of shedding the old, of releasing the identities and expectations that no longer serve you, and stepping into a new way of being. This is not a rebirth that happens in the presence of others. It is something that occurs in the quiet moments when you are alone with yourself and the divine. Yeshua's time in solitude, whether in the wilderness or on a mountaintop, was often marked by moments of profound transformation. In these moments, he wasn't alone in the way we often think of loneliness. He was deeply connected to the Father, gaining strength, wisdom, and clarity. Similarly, your time in solitude is an opportunity for a spiritual rebirth, one that will change the way you see yourself and the world around you. This process of rebirth may feel uncomfortable at times. You may feel the urge to return to the familiar, to seek out the company of others as a way to avoid the discomfort of being alone. But it is in these moments of discomfort that the greatest transformation occurs. Allow yourself to sit with the unease, knowing that it is part of the process of shedding the old and stepping into the new. As you continue on this journey, trust that you are not truly alone. The divine is with you in every moment, guiding you through this process of rebirth. And as you emerge from this season of solitude, you will do so with a renewed sense of purpose, strength, and connection. You are not alone. You are being reborn into a new version of yourself, one that is stronger, wiser, and more connected to your true purpose. Embrace this process, knowing that it is leading you to a place of deeper fulfillment and spiritual growth. As you step out of solitude, you carry with you a new sense of power. This is not the kind of power the world often speaks of, rooted in control, status, or influence. No, this is a quieter, more profound power. It is the power of knowing who you are, where you're going, and what you are called to do. It is the power that comes from deep within, from the quiet moments of reflection and growth that solitude has offered you. You are no longer the same person who first entered this season of solitude. You have been transformed. In the stillness, you have connected with your inner self, strengthened your spirit, and gained clarity about your purpose. Now, as you walk forward, you do so with a quiet confidence, a grounded strength that cannot be shaken by the opinions or distractions of the world. Yeshua often emerged from his moments of solitude with renewed purpose and strength, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. His time spent alone with the Father gave him the power to walk his path with unwavering confidence. You too are being called to walk forward in your new power, knowing that you are not alone and that the divine is with you every step of the way. This new power is not loud or boastful. It is subtle yet unshakable. It comes from the knowledge that you have faced yourself in the quiet, that you have heard the whispers of your soul, and that you are now aligned with your true purpose. You no longer need the validation of others to confirm your worth or direction. You have found that within yourself, in the stillness of solitude. As you move forward, you will carry this power into every aspect of your life. It will guide your decisions, shape your relationships, and inform your actions. This power is not something that you wield to control others. It is something that you hold within, a quiet knowing that you are on the right path. You are now prepared to face whatever lies ahead with grace, strength, and purpose. But remember, this journey of solitude is not a one-time event. Life will continue to pull you in different directions, and there will be times when you may need to return to the quiet, to reconnect with your inner self and the divine. Solitude is not a place of escape, but a place of renewal. A space where you can return to whenever you need, to realign with your true self and purpose. As you walk forward in your new power, trust that this strength will carry you through whatever challenges may come. You are now walking in alignment with your purpose, and that is the greatest power of all. Chosen ones, if you enjoy our videos and would like to support our channel, feel free to buy us a coffee. The link will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed day.